My name's Ethan Jones. I'm with Daily Ridge, and I'm here with Shay Arnold, who is in charge of Big Bass Guide Services.
You said you have 20 plus year experience in fishing, right?
Yes, in fishing. Yeah, I've been in business now for 7 with Big Bass Guide Service. I've been in business for 7 years doing this.
You make it accessible for people to go fishing out there, like as far as pricing. Do they tell you where they want to go fishing, or do you give them recommendations?
I always have an area where I want to fish at. I tell clients that this is going to be your best chance and your best odds. But every now and then I do get some that want to go somewhere else. I always have recommendations where to go, but if they want to go somewhere else, we can accommodate that too.
Out of all the lakes you fished so far in Florida, what would you say is your favorite lake that you fished?
I really have to say the Winter Haven chain. There's a lot of different lakes, and there's a lot of big fish on the Winter Haven chain, and it's constantly putting pretty good bags in tournaments, you know, over 20 pounds. I've seen it where there's 30-pound bags caught out of there. So,
You're allowed to go onto private lakes.
yes.
And how are you able to do that?
I have a lot of friends. I've born and raised down here in Florida, in Central Florida, Winter Haven area. So a lot of my friends live on lakes and stuff like that. So we get to go out to private lakes, and then we also go to phosphate pits and stuff like that. So it's a really good, unique experience for a lot of these people.
As far as when you take people out for charter fishing, what's the strategy? Is there a certain time that you like to go out?
Obviously, I don't want to go out there at middle of the day.
Yeah.
But you can catch some big fish in the middle of the day. But especially this time of the year, you want to get out there early as you can. And as soon as that light breaks, then you want to get out there. Because these fish are like humans. You don't want to be out there in 95-degree weather and eating. So we try to get out there early. And that's pretty much what we try to tend to do right now.
You said you want to go fishing early, try to get early in the morning
Yes.
because you don't want to be there midday, right?
Yeah, and these fish have a tendency to eat a little bit better when it's cooler in the morning and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of like going out in the morning or really late at the evening.
And when you're fishing on these lakes, are you trying to get up into the lily pads or in the middle?
I'm a big electronic fisherman, so you can see from the boat I've got all kinds of electronics on there. So I stay offshore a lot of the times, and we don't really just sit there and fish around shore, because a lot of people don't understand, but there's a lot more fish that's behind you. You know what I mean? So I had an older guy one time when I was fishing a tournament. He said, "Shay, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm fishing the pads." He goes, "Shay, there's 95% of the fish behind your back." I said, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah.
So I knew at that point I had to figure out the offshore game, and that's what I did.
What kind of lures are you using to get these bass?
Well, all types. You know, whenever I do most of my charters, a lot of these guys, they just want trophy bass. So we'll just use live bait and stuff like that. And then I get a lot of guys that want to go artificial. So we're throwing worms, we're using drop shots, we're using all kinds of top water frogs. I mean, we have a lot of different ways to attack them.
What's like the biggest catch you've had, either you or like someone on your boat has had so far?
I've caught 11 and a half. I have had charters where clients has caught 11 pounder before. Now that was a big fish, but the sad part is the guy didn't even care. Yeah. Fish of a lifetime. But he was out there with his kids, and so his kids were very excited to see it.
Cool. That's cool.
That was a good thing.
Do you have any plans for the future with your business?
I do. I really do, because for one, the kids camp, it's a great opportunity to get the kids off of the video games and out on the boat and actually be kids again. And I do believe that's what a lot of people are missing. Kids are growing up way too fast, and they still need to be out there enjoying outdoors. So I do want to open up some more branches with that. And guide-wise, I do plan on doing a little bit more. I have a couple guys that I've been giving trips out to and stuff like that. But my youngest son, he'll be coming up, and I think he's going to be following my footsteps and starting to do a little bit of guiding also.
That's pretty cool. You've taken big clients out, like you just took Ray Lewis out. What was that like? And like, have you taken any other big celebrities out fishing?
I've took out some other big celebrities. I can't really say the names and stuff, but Ray, it was fun. I mean, he was there with his friends, his old coaches, and it was just a good time. I mean, it really was. It was good overall. And actually, Ray Lewis, he wanted to go to a certain lake in Lakeland where he grew up at and played football. And me and my guys were like, well, we don't know. But we put in the time and effort, and we actually found and located the fish, and they had a great time. So
When you had Lewis out there, what was that like? Was he telling you stories about when he was playing football and growing up in Polk County?
he was definitely telling me a little bit of stories, especially about growing up and what these coaches have done for him to actually change his life. And that was the biggest thing, was how much these coaches changed his life, because he was, he could have went one path, but these coaches pointed him right in the right direction, and now you can see where he become, you know what I mean?
You said you've done some pretty cool stuff with other big fishermen like Bobby Lane.
We did a seminar with all the new baits, took out all the developers, the guys with pure fishing, and it was a really cool event because we took out one group of guys, we went back, we dropped them off, and then we picked up another group and took them out for an afternoon session. And it was really fun.
You said you did something else, right?
LL Bean.
LL
Yep,
Bean.
I did a little commercial with LL Bean. They had all their cameras out there, commercial drones, and it was a really good experience. It was fun, I will say.
You said you were also doing professional tournaments as a professional fisherman. How much does that play into being a charter fisherman now?
I didn't really do it professionally because I have 4 kids, and unfortunately, you got to have a lot of backing. And I'm not a type of person that wants to go out and try to get sponsorships and do all this kind of stuff. I do it more for the passion of it. But tournament fishing in general, though, I have turned the shiner game into a whole different realm of just going out and sitting down for 4 hours and watching a cork go bob up and down. I've utilized a lot of it in my business, I guess you could say.
You just start doing fishing with kids for summer camp? Or?
I actually, in 2020, whenever COVID hit, it about shut my business down because I couldn't get a lot of people down here. So I said, you know what, let's take a bad situation and put some kids in a boat and take them fishing. And I've figured out it was a hit. So once that was a hit, I started up my own kids camp, and I've been running it for now 5 years, and we're up to 300 spots.
Where are your summer camps held at?
Right now, it's held at Salt Strong over there on Lake Ship, right there, and it's a pretty big facility and great people.
These kids, are they like ask a lot of questions? Are they?
Oh yeah, it's nonstop.
Okay.
It's nonstop. It literally, they sit there and ask about what color is this, what's that, why are they eating snails, why are they eating this, So it's all day long, will worms work better? How do you cast this rod, But it's always a good question, No
That's
question's
cool.
a dumb one.
With these kids starting out, what are some like common mistakes they make when fishing?
Well, spinning reels, they'll hold those upside down quite a bit because they're used to that push button. And then some of them, they don't know how to tie knots. So that's one of the things that the most common problem is they're not, well, as soon as they get it tied, the hook falls off. So we have to teach them and kind of be independent and let them learn,
Okay. With these kids camps, when you have them out in the water, is it a hard time to kind of keep them quiet so they don't scare away the fish? Or?
Well, if a lot of people will say that noise scares fish away, I don't know. We do a lot of homework around here, and I have a lot of friends that will put underwater drones. They'll go diving down there, and these bass are very curious. So they'll sometimes swim right up to your boat, and you don't realize it, but we've got video evidence that fish really don't get too distracted by the sound and stuff like that.
So these kids, when they're catching these fish, is some of them it's their first time, right?
Oh yeah, it's definitely their first time, and some kids are like, they're sitting there telling me, I've never caught a fish before, and I'm like, great, that's good, because they can sit there and smile, and it brightens my day and everybody else's day.
Have any of the kids that have been in any of your camps, have they gone on to fish for their high school teams or middle school
Oh
teams?
yes, definitely. I got 2 right now that is literally fishing the state competition next week, actually, that started in my camp, that I got pictures of them whenever they was like, I don't know, knee high to a grasshopper. And now they're out there fishing competitively and everything. And one of my actual workers, he actually fishes in the college series, and he has moved on to fishing the pro series now. So he's going to be back next week and going to be helping out and working at the camp. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it's pretty cool.
How much growth have you seen in these kids' summer camps since you started in 2020 till now?
Oh, tremendous, tremendous. I mean, a lot of them, when they first came, they didn't even know what a fishing pole was. So now I got them out there catching fish with a hand line. So they've learned so much. They can tie their own hooks, they bait their own hooks. And we do the food chain challenge, so they got to get mussels and stuff, and they know how to put it all on the hooks and stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Is there any announcements that you'd like to tell people about your business?
Well, my summer camp, and I do have the summer camp that it just got started this week, so it goes all the way up until the second week of July. So the week after July 4th is going to be when it's in. I believe it's July 17th. Actually, I have a bunch of parents that go through the camp that come out and do birthday parties with me. So they'll actually drop their kids off. I'll have about 5 or 6 of them, and we all go out and go fishing and stuff like that.
So you continue to see these numbers growing with these kids, right?
Yes.
Do you have any projections of what it's going to be like?
I'm not 100% sure. 300 is what my target is this year, and I already have 3 weeks sold out. So, I do have a feeling it's going to even get busier, but I'm going to stop it at 300, and then I'm actually looking to, like you said, grow the business and branch off to some like the Orlando area or somewhere like that.
I want to thanks again for agreeing to the interview.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you'd like to tell people?
Well, if you guys ever want to get on the water, you can look me up, give me a call at Big Bass Guide Service. There's no parties too small, too big. Have a good one out there.
This is Ethan Jones with Daily Ridge signing out.